All right, so we going there's some news that came out not too long ago. Um and my homie was telling me about it, but I didn't really like I heard him, but I didn't really hear him like that. So it's basically about the King of the Hill, a voice actor for I believe it's John Redcorn if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, John Redcorn. The Indian guy basically on King of the Hill. I guess this is his face. Probably a better picture would be here. Um, so we're gonna check this out.
An actor known for his roles in popular TV shows has reportedly been shot dead in Texas. KSAT in San Antonio reports Jonathan Joss was shot and killed on his property in the city. The 59-year-old is known for his role voicing John Redcorn
So this is him. This is the guy that did this voice.
on Fox's King of the Hill.
I think I know why you're here. Your wife came to me with a headache. A real headache. Her head actually hurt.
I know that, but as I recall, that's how it started with Nancy Gribble.
Hank, you are my friend. I promise you, I would never heal your wife in the way that I heal the wives of others.
Joss also played Native American activist Ken Hotate on NBC's Parks and Recreation.
Speaking as a citizen of Pawnee, I do not like the way you went back on your deal with Councilwoman Nope. It reminds me of what the settlers of Pawnee did to my ancestors, taking their land without permission.
He really plays white people like a fiddle.
Oh well, I thought they had more on that. I'm gonna give you out an actual story, but I want to see if I can find someone who can tell it better than me first. Hold on. Matter of fact, we can just read the New York Times. All right, so Jonathan Joss, King of the Hill voice actor, fatally shot by his neighbor. The story's real fucked up, by the way. Um, Jonathan Joss, best known as the voice work of animated TV show King of the Hill, was shot and killed by a neighbor Sunday night during a dispute in San Antonio. 59 years old, voiced John Redcorn, also appeared on Parks and Recreation, Ray Donovan, and Tulsa King. The neighbor, who was identified by investigators as something Alvarez, who was 56. Oh, this is the neighbor. So that's the neighbor that shot him. Was taken into custody shortly after the altercation, and he was charged with murder. The police did not say what led to the dispute, which happened around 7 p.m. on the side of San Antonio, but a post on his page on Mondays, which is his husband, described the shooting as a hate crime and said that the two of them had been reportedly harassed because they were gay. He wrote that they had returned to a property where Mr. Josh's home had burned down earlier that year. He started yelling violent homosexual slurs at us, he wrote in a statement. He then raised a gun from his lap and fired. Gonzalez said that he and Mr. Josh had reported the harassment several times in the past to the authorities, but it had continued. The police spokesman disputed the account about what motivated the attack. Our investigation has found no evidence whatsoever to indicate that Mr. Josh's murder was related to his sexual orientation. We take allegations very seriously and have thoroughly reviewed all available information should any new evidence come to light. We will charge the suspect accordingly. So they didn't find it as a hate crime. This actually sounds like some Mississippi stuff, and I'm from Mississippi, so that says a lot. But when officers responded, they found Mr. Josh near the street, attempted to save his life. Paramedics pronounced him dead when they arrived. The police referred questions about how many times he had been shot, which the examiner's office did not immediately respond. Let's see. So they had been. So wherever they live in San Antonio, Mr. Josh, who is Redcorn, and his husband I believe it said his name is Gonzalez. Yeah, his husband Tristan Gonzalez had reported harassment from the neighbor before. It said something about a house being burned down. So I think it said Mr. Josh's house was burned down. Let's go back up here. He wrote that they had returned to a property where Mr. Josh's home had been burned down earlier that year when the shooting happened. So they was returning to their old home, and their neighbor started yelling at them with homophobic slurs. And he already had a gun and he fired, so he was prepared to shoot him. Like, no one just pulls out a mysterious gun out of nowhere. So this beef has been ongoing. That's doing too much, man. Like, even if you don't like gay people, bro, like, that's like, you taking it too far, bro. That's going too far. And they just announced the reboot for King of the Hill. Let's go here.
If you don't know where to start in Top Heroes World,
I want this one. What's the kid? Who's this kid?
With you speaking out, what do you want our viewers to know?
Well,
that's not a kid, I get. He looks significantly younger.
First off, I do want to just say thank you to everyone in the community who has shown so much support and so much love for both Jonathan and myself. I've been getting some really, really, really nice messages from people all over the world, and it's really an honor to see how my husband touched so many people's lives, and it's something that I will always be proud of, and I'm always going to try to.
Not that it's any of my business, but I did want to know how old this guy was, because Redcorn or Jonathan Joss was 59, so you look kind of young.
Honor. I also want people to understand that this was a hate crime. Jonathan was killed not only for being in the LGBT community, but also for being an indigenous man. And
I'm not here to bash anybody, so I'm trying to keep it respectful as possible. But this person says groomed since birth, huh? People wondering if this person had transitioned from a woman to a man. Almost a 30-year age difference. I guess regardless of any of that, as of today, the police really didn't do their due diligence. If you complain to the police about somebody harassing you and they don't do anything about it, oh, look, there's me. That's crazy. Old video. And then that person gets killed, then that should be on the police. But I don't know if there's something underlying that I don't know about.
Indigenous people are murdered and go missing at a really, really high rate in this country, but they aren't.
Yes, indeed. And, with police right now, obviously they've come out and said, because of so many people wondering, what happened, they've already said they found no evidence of this being
I wonder why they put the age of the neighbor who shot him and then Mr. Josh's age on this New York Times, but they didn't put his husband on age on here at all. Y'all don't find that crazy?
hate crime. What is your response to that?
Well, first of all, I believe that it's a really common practice for police to investigate themselves and then find out that they did nothing wrong. I think that's a pretty common police tactic. As far as for the SAPD themselves, they're just trying to cover themselves because for, you know, almost 2 years, longer than that, Jonathan and I tried to go through the proper channels, make the reports, and nothing was done or taken seriously. They never cared about my husband while he was alive. So I really don't expect them to do much now. But first and foremost, I think that they are just trying to cover up the fact that they did nothing after repeated.
I think this is a post from Jonathan Joss. Oh, this is a statement from the husband. All right, let's read this. My husband and I were involved in a shooting while checking the mail at the site of our former home. That home was burned down after 2 years of threats from people in the area who repeatedly told us they would set it on fire. We reported these threats to law enforcement multiple times. Nothing was done. Throughout the time, we were harassed regularly by individuals who made it clear they did not accept our relationship. Much of the harassment was openly homophobic. When we returned to the site to check our mail, we discovered the skull of one of our dogs and its harness placed in the clear view. This caused both of us severe emotional distress. We began yelling and crying in response to the pain of what we saw. While we were doing this, a man approached us, started yelling violent homophobic slurs at us. Then he raised the gun from his lap and fired. Boy, this New York Times post didn't have none of this in here. Jonathan and I had no weapons. We weren't threatening anyone. We were grieving. We were standing side by side. When the man fired, Jonathan pushed me out of the way. He saved my life. So they was aiming for him, but he ended up pushing him out the way. That's love. Jonathan is my husband. He gave me more love in our time together than most people will ever get. We were newlyweds. We picked Valentine's Day. We were in the process of looking for a trailer and planning our future. He was murdered by someone who could not stand the sight of two men. Trying to read something, sorry. Two men loving each other. I was with him when he passed. I told him how much he was loved. To everyone who supported him, his fans, his friends, know that he valued you deeply. We saw you as family. My focus now is protecting his legacy and honoring the life we built together. If you're concerned as how someone coped with trauma or how loudly they speak when re-encountering justice and being ignored by the authorities, then you never truly cared about my husband. Jonathan saved my life. I will carry that forward. I will protect what he built. Yeah, that's way more detailed than what they were making it seem. Well, for one thing, this should definitely be a hate crime, for sure. Now, if there's something else underlining in this that I don't know about, then, you know, I don't know what to say, but oh my God. But as for now, we'll go with this. Let's see what this lady said.
I swear before God in heaven, the first person that comes out saying that they want a straight pride this year is getting a fist to the goddamn face. I'm still not over what happened to Matthew Shepard back in the 90s, but if you want to talk about something that happened more recently, Jonathan Joss, not even 2 days ago, was just killed in front of his husband and the remains of his home and his dog for being queer. If you want to know about...
I think we should have a straight pride, but that's just me.
The whole story, go on and Google it. I don't have the heart to talk about it right now. If you don't understand why gay people still need pride, then you're not paying attention. People are dead. And if you come in...
All right. Okay. Let's move on. What the fuck? They say these was the neighbors. No way. I don't believe it. No way. He was a meth head, heroin addict. Well, nah, no way, bro. No way this is real. Okay, I figured. Well, we don't know if this is fact, but they're saying his partner is trans. Which still don't make it right to shoot and kill. But if I'm being honest, you do look trans. You don't look like a born male. So I guess it's deeper than what they say, but not deep enough to me where I feel like you can kill them. So trans or not, it don't change the fact that killing them because they're together. Bro, just look away, bro. It ain't gotta be that serious. I just look away. It ain't my business, bro. I live life being like, bro, it ain't my business. I don't agree with a lot of stuff, but I don't be bothering nobody. In a lot of cases, I ain't gonna lie. A lot of them niggas be cooler than other people. Like, they nice people. A lot of them are really nice people, like gay people and stuff. You know, just let them live, mind your business, keep it pushing. Damn, they had over 40 calls involving the harassment, ranging from welfare check. Wait, hold on. The San Antonio police responded to over 40 calls involving Joss in 2024, ranging from welfare checks, mental health issues, and dust up with neighbors. However, the actor may have been loud but was never violent. They probably viewed it as a tit for tat. They said he was really sweet. He was God. Blah, blah, blah. What? Hold on. Is this recent?
The day after Jonathan Joss's murder, that was way, way, way premature. Shouldn't have done it. It was way too soon before we had any real information. We issued a statement, I believe it was the day after Jonathan Joss's murder, that was way, way, way premature. Shouldn't have done it. It was way too soon before we had any real information, and I will own that and simply say again that we simply shouldn't have done that. It was way too early in the process for any statement of that nature to be issued. We understand that many in the LGBTQ plus community are feeling anxious and concerned.
I don't believe a word he's saying, bro. He just reading, bro. He sound racist, bro. I mean, I'm from the South, bro. You just kind of know certain people, how they act and mannerisms and stuff. That's what we got, man. That's what we got. Rest in peace to Jonathan Joss. Deep condolences to Tristan Kern de Gonzalez. Prayers to Jonathan Joss's family and friends. If nobody's bothering you, man, there's no reason to shoot them, bro. That's how I feel about anybody, anything, whether I agree or disagree with what you got going on in your life. If it ain't got nothing to do with me, it ain't my problem, man. So, but anyway, it's Dee Brown LTD. Hit me up on Instagram. Anything else, man?